Not quite my tempo.
I'm gonna make him an offer, Captain.
Hello, everybody. It's Multiplex Loves Movies, episode number 30. We're here to talk about movie news. First off, we've got my wonderful bride, Maggie Brzakala, is here. Hello! There she is. How are you?
Can I really
tonight,
be called
Maggie?
your bride anymore?
We've only been married for a year and a half. Not even.
No, definitely over a year and a half.
It has been a year and a half. I know these things. It's been almost 2 years. So hello, yes. You're doing good today?
I'm doing good today.
Perfect. Well, you know who's doing great because he likes to run and catch those rings? We've got Kaleb Koho here today.
Gotta go fast, baby.
You gotta go fast. Woohoo! We've got Kaleb. How are you today?
It's my first episode of the show with the blue hair. We're rocking it. No, I'm excited to be here. Love talking movie news, and yeah, let's see what the Multiplex Loves Movies audience thinks of the Sonic hair.
Oh God, it'll be fantastic. Star Drew and Garth will have many comments, I'm sure. Today's episode is going to be super stressful. Wasn't a lot of movie news to gather up, but I found some. But nonetheless, I've got my stress potato here to stress so we can get through the show. It's okay, though. It's going to be fun. It's only going to be the three of us today. Cody is on assignment in Russia, working on some very secret stuff for Multiplex. Robert is, I think, seeing a film, and Kaleb Boatman is... he's hosting a match somewhere. So, it's a pretty intense time in Multiplex.
I am wearing my Kaleb Boatman flannel, though. So he's here in spirit.
That's accurate. Let's get going right away with the box office, which we do every week. If you guys have never seen the show before, we always start with the box office right away because we're a movie news show and we want to talk about that box office. So coming in at number 1 was Universal's The Invisible Man, making $28.2 million. Sonic the Hedgehog sticking in that top 5 at number 2 with another $16.2 million. Pretty crazy for that movie and for Paramount. Call of the Wild sticking around as well from last weekend, only dropping 46% to $13.3 million. My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising. I believe this is an anime film of some sort. It made $5.8 million in only 1,000 theaters. That's very impressive. And Bad Boys for Life is still here. It's still making money, and it made another $4.3 million. The movie's dope, so good for that movie. So I'll start off. I think the story here is The Invisible Man. And the story is the underlying fact that this movie made in its opening weekend the same amount that The Mummy made in its opening weekend back in 2017. The Mummy was made for $150 million, and this movie was made for $7 million. So this is a huge win for Universal. The movie's dope. Did you see it, Kaleb?
I did. It's
okay. I didn't.
Dope.
Yeah, I didn't know if you saw it or not. The movie's awesome, so I'm really happy that it made the money. It proves that you can get stars. Like Tom Cruise is obviously like a huge star, but like Elizabeth Moss, I'd say, is an up and coming star. You get her, you get great actors. I don't know the guy's name, but the guy who plays like her friend and the cop or whatever. I've seen him in a couple things, and he's always really good at it. Yeah, he's really good. I think he was in What Women Want, which is not a good movie, but he was very good in it. He was the best part of that movie. So I really liked him. My point is, you don't need a huge budget and a huge major stars to fill out these movies. People will go and see them if they're good movies. Lee Winnell is a godsend. Keep directing. You're 2 out of 3 for me, and the one that you missed, I still thought was okay, and that was Insidious 3 or whatever the hell one he made. But nonetheless, no, the one before the key one, the prequel one, the one with the girl.
3, right? Is that not
the key one was a prequel.
Okay, so the third one. It was the third one though, not the key one.
He wrote all the Insidiouses, but I think he only directed the third. He also wrote Saw. Fun fact.
No,
I know. Oh, I know. I love.
That's not a fun fact. That is a well-known fact in our.
I am not a horror fan, so that was a fun fact for me when I was looking. Who is this person?
That's all. Yeah. He's also in Saw. You know that, right? Like that's.
I did not know that.
Yeah. It's
that's him and Carrie Elwes. Yeah, get it together.
Yeah, he's awesome, and he's in all of James Wan's movies, and well, not all, but he's in a lot. He's in Aquaman. He's the guy who flies.
And, wasn't he in The Conjuring?
Yes, he is in The Conjuring. Yeah, he's one of the guys who films everything with them with the Warrens. Yeah, no, he's awesome. So I really like him. I'm really happy this movie made money. Also looking at it, Call of the Wild is a flop officially.
Yeah,
a ton of money to make. We saw it this weekend. I thought the movie was really good. I actually really liked it. It pulled at the emotional heartstrings. And also, even though the doggos were CGI, they were cute nonetheless, and they made Maggie go many times throughout the movie. And then this Hero Academia, I know nothing about you, but you were released in 1,100 theaters and you made $5 million. Good for you. Koho, I'll go to you next. What do you think?
I know that there's I think my sister is a huge fan. So she told me today, I told her, hey, that movie you want to see on Wednesday made $5 million in only a couple theaters, 1,000. And she was like, cool. So does that mean it's good? And I was like, yeah, it probably means you're probably going to see more My Hero Academia stuff in wide release. She's like, that's dope. Apparently it's the most popular anime of all time. So good for My Hero Academia. But
sure.
Cool. I know people like it.
Sonic the Hedgehog, Maggie, only dropped 37%, which is kind of insane in a third weekend for another 16 million. The movie has now made 266 worldwide on a budget of 85 million. Are we getting the Sonic universe?
Please, it's happening. They already clearly think that it's happening. Oh, you're not a part of it. Don't be happy.
You saw the movie.
I know.
Gotta go
he's
fast.
He is Sonic. No.
Gotta go fast.
No, I think that it's definitely happening. I guess this there's an end credit scene that heavily hints that it's happening. I'm not surprised. The movie wasn't terrible, so I wouldn't even be mad if they made another one. And honestly, I'm kind of happy for them that it's sort of doing well and that people are receiving it well because of all the effort they went through to try to please people with this movie. So I'm okay with it. Wish Call of the Wild was doing better, but I also understand.
Yeah, Call of the Wild was a budget of 135 million. It's currently made 80 million worldwide. I don't even know if it makes back its budget, which is too bad.
Right.
Because the movie is good, in my opinion.
Do you think if they used real doggos, it would have been cheaper and better received?
I don't think it would have been.
I don't think so. I think this is like Disney struggling with marketing a movie that they did not make. Okay. And I think that there's going to be a lot of growing pains with these initial movies that they're releasing that they did not make. This and something else just came out that didn't do that great.
Downhill.
Yeah, there's a couple, and I just think that they're going to get there eventually. It's just going to be rough for a while.
Okay. So we've brought it up 1,000 times. I'm going to bring it up again. Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. We're now looking at 188 million worldwide on a budget of 84 million. So it has made its money back, but I'm still just so surprised that this movie is not doing better. That is actually the movie that Roberto is seeing right now. So, I mean, I think people are going to see it. I just don't understand why it's not doing better. I just wanted to say once again, for the fourth week in a row, if you haven't seen Birds of Prey, please go check it out. It's very good. I liked it a lot. The only other thing in the box office I can really think to say is, which we're going to get to later, Emma is a movie coming out wide this weekend. It opened limited last weekend in the U.S. It opened up overseas a couple weeks ago, but in the U.S., limited last weekend. In 97 theaters, it made $1.1 million.
Wow.
So that's pretty dope. It was an average of 12,000 per theater. That's pretty awesome. Worldwide right now, it's made 13 million because it has made 11.5 overseas already. I think the movie looks really good. I actually honestly don't know what it has on Rotten Tomatoes. It clearly has a score because people have seen it. I have no idea what its critic reviews are like, but I'm excited to see it. We'll get to that. We'll reveal all of that later at the end of the show when we talk about movies coming soon. Anything else anybody has to say about the box office?
Go Bad Boys for life. Let's keep going. Let's make
that movie.
more.
Oh, they're good. They're going to. The movie's made 405 million worldwide on a 90 million budget.
Oh, let's go! I'm ready for the fourth one already.
Have you seen the first two?
Next question, Alec.
All right, let's move on to the next topic, which is our main topic of the day, and that is Mr. Steven Spielberg. He's out. 45, Jesus. That's awesome. So Spielberg is out, apparently, of the directing of Indiana Jones 5. This has come news to us, but James Mangold is apparently in talks to direct. Nothing is confirmed yet. Maggie, I'm going to go to you first as someone who's varying opinions of Indiana. I already know what Kaleb thinks. I don't think you were on the show when we talked about Indiana Jones last time, 2 weeks ago. So you weren't on when we talked about it. So what are your thoughts on this news?
Not mad at all. I think that it's really okay that he stepped away from this franchise. It clearly wasn't working. He clearly, well, not clearly, but I think he probably has other things he wants to do. And I think that James Mangold is very capable and can do great things with this franchise. So I'm very excited. I don't really take it as bad news at all. I don't blame him for wanting to step away at all.
Yeah, I'm in the boat where I don't care. I love James Mangold, so I'm down for seeing his take on Indiana Jones. I'm excited about it. I've been excited about a fifth movie. I said it last time that we talked about this topic a couple weeks ago. That being said, I mean, I love the first three Indiana Jones movies. I don't think that trilogy works without Spielberg and Ford being there. But I also really didn't like Crystal Skull. I don't think that's entirely on Spielberg at all. I think that has a lot to do with George Lucas and the production behind the movie. But I'm interested in a new take. I mean, I love the original trilogy of Star Wars, but I love what J.J. Abrams did with Force Awakens. So I don't care necessarily who's behind the camera, as long as it's the right script, the right story, the right people making it. Koho, what about you?
I've warmed up more and more to the idea of Mangold doing it because the more I think about it, I don't think I've seen a bad Mangold film in a long time. Like Logan is dope. Ford v Ferrari's dope. I like the Wolverine too. So like I think Mangold is the best person working right now to take that because I don't think it'll just be another dumb generic blockbuster, but they have Indiana Jones in it. I think like Mangold's actually gonna do something cool. So if it's not Spielberg, I think this is the right person to do it instead of Spielberg. So
yeah, I absolutely agree. I don't think Mangold has made a bad movie in a while. I think Night and Day was probably the worst.
I don't hate Night and Day either, if I'm being totally honest.
It's not a great movie, but I mean, a lot of his movies are very excellent. Especially the last few outings, especially Logan, Ford v Ferrari. I think he's someone who can elevate some material. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. Apparently, they're going to start shooting soon, so we're going to hear this confirmation pretty dang soon. But let's move on to the next topic, which is going to be something that I'm looking forward to. I know Maggie probably doesn't care as much, and I don't know how Koho feels about this, but Top Gun Maverick, baby, it's coming faster. It's coming 2 days early, and I know that doesn't sound like super exciting or anything, but the movie was set to open against In the Heights, which is gonna be a huge movie. In the Heights is going to be a massive hit. You're coming from the director of Crazy Rich Asians, which clearly was a big hit. You're a musical, Lin-Manuel Miranda. People are excited. The trailer is dope. That's as well, though. Top Gun 2's trailers have been awesome. And I think for people who are fans of that movie, this movie is going to make a lot of money. I think it was a very smart play for Paramount to say, let's maybe open this a couple days early in the summer when things open pretty much whenever they want. There's no reason why you can't open Top Gun 2 days early. Sony did it last year where it was going to open Spider-Man on like the 4th of July on a Friday, but then they moved it up like 3 days to a Tuesday to get more money ahead of the weekend. So it makes sense. I don't think this is like a game-changing news or anything, but I am excited. We get to see it a couple days early. I love the first Top Gun. I love Tom Cruise, TC legend, big fan. I'm very much looking forward to this movie. The trailers have been dope. Koho, what about you?
I'm not a huge Top Gun fan. Like I saw it really like late in life, so like it didn't hit me the same. If I saw this a little bit younger, I'm sure I'd have like a lot of love for it. But it's not a bad movie. Like it's a fun movie, and like the sequel looks fun. I don't have a lot of expectations on it. I'm glad it's not opening against In the Heights, because those two, if you told me that I had to pick one, I'd pick In the Heights. That's because I subscribe.
I would too, honestly.
I subscribe to the cult of Lin-Manuel Miranda. If his name's on it, I have to see it. But I wouldn't say I'm excited for Top Gun 2, but I will see it. I'm glad I don't have to pick.
All right, Maggie, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a lot of opinions because I haven't seen Top Gun. Always there for a Tom Cruise movie though. I also like Miles Teller, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's smart to move and recognize when you don't want to get absolutely fucked. So
Getting absolutely fucked is rough. So yeah.
Sorry.
You said it. You said
I know.
it.
I know. I'm sorry.
If mom is watching, you said it first. So, all right, guys.
I would like to make it known I did not curse first on this week's show.
I know. After last week saying that it was a family-friendly show and I'm not supposed to curse, my be.
Are you okay in there?
Yeah. Sorry. I'm nothing.
Are you messing with the calendar?
Yep.
All right, next topic is one that is so stressful. Guys, another fun thing. Actually, we haven't talked about Disney once yet on this.
I talked about Disney.
Did we?
With Call of the Wild.
Oh, I guess that's fair. Okay, I forgot about that. But anyway, we haven't had a main topic about Disney yet. But this next topic is a Sony topic, one that is so upsetting. Uncharted, the Uncharted movie, which I'm very excited about because I love the video games, but I'm not excited about the fact that Sony keeps dicking with me and moving this thing around, changing ideas, not just like doubling down on it. Like, just fucking do it. It's gonna happen eventually. Just do it. Right now, we've got Tom Holland cast, and now we've also got Antonio Banderas cast in the movie. How that's gonna work, I sure don't know. I would assume he's gonna be playing a villain. But I believe Mark Wahlberg is also cast in this thing. And we also still? What? Is he still? I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, right, because he made those comments about the script.
Yes, and so we've also got a new director, Ruben Fleischer, of Venom and both Zombieland movies fame. So we've got a good director. We've had good directors on this before, though, and it keeps falling through. But apparently, it's going to be shooting this summer. Again, we've been told this 1,000 times. I'm excited because I like the games, but Tom Holland's really young. He's not Nathan Drake. I think they're going after like a young Nathan Drake thing. That's fine and dandy.
They got to make a series out of it, Tim, so they got to start him young.
There is precedent in the games of him being young. There's like flashback sequences and stuff, but it's just not the main gist of the game. And Mark Wahlberg, if he is playing Sully, which is like his mentor character,
That's what he's credited as is on IMDb.
yeah, that's gonna be a yikes for me, dog. I just don't see Wahlberg playing that character. Maggie, I know you don't know a lot about Uncharted, but what's your take on just this whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, it says it's scheduled to come out March. No, not March. March 5th, 2021. Guys, that's a year from now. That's not happening. And I just feel like all I hear about is people like Tim who love the games being like, this is such a cool thing. I wish they would do it right. And then it just keeps getting pushed and it keeps losing directors and like all of that sort of stuff. So I hope it gets out of development hell, but I'm not entirely sure that it will. I know that slowly video game movies are obviously doing better, like Sonic being an example, and even the Pokemon movie last year doing pretty well. But yeah, I think it's also hard when your lead is Tom Holland, who's clearly very busy right now. And so like trying to find something to schedule him and keep him. Plus, I mean, who were the other directors that they had on?
They had Sean Levy at one point. He did like the Night at the Museum movies, and
Real Steel.
He's actually done he did something very recently that I just watched.
Sean Levy.
I'm on it, but
I mean, the guy who you said who like just did the 2 Zombieland movies are awesome, and what else did you say he directed?
Venom.
I mean,
so he's in with Sony,
right? I don't care about Venom, but it did well in the box office, so like I'm not surprised that he's somebody that they went with. Sure, Cheaper by the Dozen. That makes him qualified to do
his new movie coming out is Free Guy, the Ryan Reynolds movie.
Oh, okay.
Which is Fox/Disney. He's directed 8 episodes of Stranger Things, all 3 Night at the Museum movies. This Is Where I Leave You, The Internship, Real Steel, Date Night, The Pink Panther, Cheaper by the Dozen, Big Fat Liar. So like,
I trust the other guy more to do an action movie. Like, I feel like what's-his-face, who's done the 2 Zombieland movies and Venom, like, he can make an action movie. He can make a big-budget action movie.
Oh, I agree.
Or, like, this guy is just making family movies. So, I mean, I hope that because it's in development hell, that doesn't make it a bad movie, that they're able to, like, push out and make a good film. I don't really care if it's true to the video game, because that's not that relevant to making a good movie. Sorry, Tim. I hope that it doesn't get pushed too much and that, they make a good film.
So to be fair, so this is going to be the 7th director attached to this movie.
That's a yikes.
So Travis Knight was the last one before who did Bumblebee and Kubo.
Right.
That would have been good. He was supposed to do it. Dan Trachtenberg, who did 10 Cloverfield Lane, was at once attached. Sean Levy, Seth Gordon, Neil Berger, and David O. Russell have all been attached to direct this movie. So it's been a lot of people. Koho, what are your thoughts on the whole situation?
So, like, I really dig the Uncharted game series. I don't really understand why it's so hard to make an Uncharted film. I think maybe it's the direction that they're doing of a young Nathan Drake, maybe, because then they have to totally come up with a whole new story and try and piece together the flashback backstory to Nathan Drake and make a compelling movie out of it. I think if they just kind of straight up adapted the first Uncharted, because the stories of the games are all really like well-written stories. Oh, yeah. Like there's not a bad story in any of those Uncharted games. And like you have an Indiana Jones level franchise there with 4 already like great stories to pull from. And you can do in between quotes to each of those games. Like, I guess I just don't understand why it's in this sort of development hell, I guess, outside of the direction they're trying to take with the movie. But I hope it's good. I like both Zombielands. I think Ruben Fleischer is a capable director. Tom Holland is a pretty good pick if you're doing a young Nathan Drake. He's a star, so makes sense. If Mark Wahlberg is Sully, I'm very, very confused as to what we're going for, because that does not make sense at all. I like Mark Wahlberg as like a villain in the movie. That'd be dope. Or maybe even just as a funny side character written for it. But yeah, I want this Uncharted movie to be good, and I would love to see it that like we eventually get to the game's stories, but who knows? I mean,
I think they're also afraid that this very easily could turn into like Tomb Raider,
true.
where it's just like this action adventure video game adaptation that's run of the mill, blah blah blah. And I think they're still doing a second Tomb Raider movie, like another Alicia Vikander, if I'm not mistaken. Maggie, are you looking that up?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's happening. I didn't hate that movie. So honestly, like I agree. I think Nathan Fillion's a little old, Cameron. At this point, if you've seen there's a short film on YouTube that someone made. It's a fan made thing where Nathan Fillion plays Nathan Drake. It came out 2 years ago, maybe. That thing is dope. It's really well made for a short film. Maggie, go ahead.
Okay, so 2 things. So I was reading that article that said that Mark Wahlberg was once himself attached to play Nathan Drake. How would you feel if they're pulling like a surprise and they're doing the flashback thing and Mark Wahlberg is the older version and Tom Holland is the younger version? No, okay. Second thing, they are making a second Tomb Raider movie. It's also scheduled to release a year from now in March.
Well, the first one came out in March, so that March 28th.
They're going to open against each other?
That's a mistake. One of them is going to move. I believe Tomb Raider is Warner Brothers, I think, and Uncharted is Sony, so one of them is going to move.
I mean, I think that if anyone's going to move, it's going to be Uncharted because, yes, it is Warner Brothers.
Did that Tomb Raider movie make money?
I think it broke 100 million, or it was just shy of 100 million in the US.
Domestically or worldwide?
Domestically. It was either it was on the precipice of 100 or it barely crossed 100.
Because I didn't think that movie was terrible. It just it's very run of the mill. I think it made 274 worldwide. Domestically, it only made 58 million.
I'm totally off in my brain then. I don't know what I was thinking of.
That was all the international audience.
But then if they know that, they can make it and cater it to the international.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think Mark Wahlberg as Nathan Drake, and it's not a shot at you, Maggie. You haven't played the game.
Nothing. So I was just throwing shit out there.
I think Mark Wahlberg probably looks like he could probably play Nathan Drake, but he sounds and is. I don't think he's anything. I think
he can't be so attached to the one.
All I can think of in my brain is Mark Wahlberg looking like Nathan Drake, and he opens his mouth, and it's just the Departed voice coming out, and I would die. I would die.
Or like we watched Boogie Nights the other night, and all I'm hearing is like Nathan Drake swinging around, going, "I'm an actor. I'm gonna be someone." It's like I can't. No, like no, I don't want that.
It doesn't work.
But anyway, let's move on to the next topic. This is a doozy of a story, which I wanted to get our thoughts on. But Simon Pegg, who I like a lot, he's played Scotty in the last 3 Star Trek films, and he's had some things to say about Paramount, which is very interesting. He basically said that they mishandled Star Trek, or at least Star Trek Beyond. Star Trek Beyond came out in 2016. And it was also around the same year as the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. He said they basically failed at making this a powerful, commemorative thing. And the fact that, they lost Anton, which, has nothing to do with Paramount, but the fact that they did that, it's kind of been mishandled in that they don't really have a plan for the next movie. And he just highly, highly doubts there's going to be a 4th film in this Kelvin timeline that they've done. Jay is right in the chat. Peg did help write Beyond. I actually love Beyond. It's my second favorite of the trilogy. I like the first one the most, but I think Beyond is dope. It's a super fun movie, and the fact that we had the plans fall through on the 4th movie, which was going to see Hemsworth return as George Kirk, right? George Kirk. That's right. I'm right. I don't know why I question myself. So I love these new Star Trek movies. I love a lot of the old Star Trek movies. They're not my favorite, but I love a lot of them. I'm sad to see where it's kind of going. The fact that they've got Noah Hawley, which if you don't know about him, He's directed one feature film. It's called Lucy in the Sky. I think it's a pile of shit. It was one of my worst movies from last year. I fucking hate that movie. I think Noah Hawley's a great writer for TV. He's done a lot of good stuff on TV. I just don't think he even had a clue with his movie. So I'm not really looking forward to anything he does, and the fact that he has his hands in the Star Trek honeypot right now, I'm not excited. And Simon Pegg is, according to what I'm reading, is feeling the same way, that he just thinks that Paramount totally mishandled the property, especially coming up on that third film. By the time they're making that third one, it's $200 million a movie, and the movies aren't making any money. Koho, what do you think about all this stuff?
I think the new Star Treks have been really good, and it's really a shame. I've heard multiple different people. I've heard there was a Tarantino Star Trek that was supposed to be made, and then that's not happening. And then there was like Roberto Orsi, who wrote the first three, was supposed to write and direct the next one involving George Kirk, and then he was out. And then they put someone who did rewrites on Beyond in charge of 4, and like the basic plot line was like, we're gonna bring back his dad, which like I think would have meant we would have gotten at least a scene between Pine and Shatner, because if you bring his dad to life, then you have the regular Prime timeline back intact. So like it would have been cool. There's a lot of potential with Star Trek, and I agree. I feel Simon Pegg, because Simon Pegg is a massive Trekkie. So like when you actually get to work with something that you love and then it doesn't get handled in a way it can be, that's super disappointing. So I feel him. I wish they'd make more, but I think Paramount needs to sell it, because they don't know what they're doing with it. And Paramount's a studio that's been struggling for a long time to get a hit. They had the Transformers for a while there, and now the Transformers are out of steam for the most part. And they just don't have a property to really cling on to, because I don't think they know what they're doing anymore.
Other than Mission
Impossible.
Mission Impossible. They have Mission Impossible. But I think the dumbest thing they've ever done is sell Marvel Studios. Like they had that deal with Marvel Studios from Iron Man to the First Avenger, and I think after the First Avenger, when Disney bought them and Paramount lost them, biggest mistake in Paramount's career, and everything's been downhill since that for them. So it's just, I would love for Star Trek to be good again, but it's a bummer that we probably won't see it with this cast again. They're a great cast.
Yeah, I mean, as far as their franchises go, they've got the Cloverfield movies, which the last one went straight to Netflix. They sold off. They have Mission Impossible, but then they have like Paranormal Activity, which was a big thing for a while. They've got all the Nickelodeon stuff, so the SpongeBob movies, stuff like that. But honestly, yeah, you're right. They just don't have a ton. They've got a lot of random stuff. Friday the 13th, G.I. Joe. The Ring, those aren't
they
making
making
money.
a new G.I. Joe movie? I swear
They
I just
are.
saw something about
it just wrapped filming. We were going to talk
did
about
they actually?
it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's called Snake Eye. It's Snake Eyes movie, and it's got Henry Golding.
With Henry Golding. Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
So that has
That
potential.
sounds dope. That sounds dope. TBH.
And Henry Golding said it's good, but obviously he's in it, so he's
right.
really it. So.
The other thing.
They have Ninja Turtles as well, which didn't make money the last time it did it, but they. Maggie, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It's really disappointing that they're not going to make anything. I honestly did not know that 2016 was the 50th anniversary of the franchise. And so, like, as somebody who's, like, so into that, like, to the world of film and nerdy film, it's kind of surprising that, like, I didn't know that, which tells me that they really dropped the ball on that. Not that I necessarily think that marketing it as like the 50th anniversary would have really changed a lot of people's minds in terms of choosing to go see the movie, but it's definitely something that they could have done more with. Yeah, and I understand Simon Pegg's comments too about losing Anson, how that would really harsh everyone's mellow in terms of making another one of these movies. Like, I can imagine it would be hard for them all to get together and do it without him, and to replace him if that's something that they would think about doing. But I know that, they mentioned that on TV, Star Trek's been doing really well, and maybe that's just where Star Trek needs to live for a while. Like, while there are maybe 2 good movies out of the first Star Trek movie group, not including these new ones, they're terrible, guys. Don't pretend that they're good.
Disagree.
Don't do it, because it will hurt yourself.
2, 3, 4, and 6 are all good.
I think 4 is really bad.
There are maybe 2 that I actually was like, this isn't terrible. Like,
And
I'm
First
not
Contact
ashamed.
is good. There's 5 of those that are good.
If you like are on a mediocre level, if you set your expectations really low, sure. But that's the thing. That's like what Simon Pegg is saying. You can't set your expectations low anymore, because to make money, you have to be like the best thing that there is. And so, I mean, I think that maybe it's just the type of thing that's meant to be on TV. As
Yeah.
like as great as as these new movies have been, because you can't make them if you're not going to make money, unless a tiny studio somehow gets the rights and are like, let's do it. But that's never going to happen. So,
Or Paramount just makes the movie for $40 million instead of $180 million. The Invisible Man just did it for $7 million.
Yeah.
I think you also have to look at the fact that Paramount had, like, last year, I think they had a 7% market share in movies, period, which is abysmal when you compare that to Disney, who had 48%, and, like, Warner Brothers, who had, like, 20-something. Like, everyone had, like, a really solid piece, and then there was Paramount over there in the corner playing with their 7% that they made off of one movie. Like, it's I think Paramount is at a crossroads, and they have been for a couple years now, where they either need to sell or change leadership, because Paramount needs to do something and do it fast.
So here's for Paramount this year, they've released Like a Boss, Bomb, The Rhythm Section, Big Bomb, and then Sonic. That's what they've got so far. So Sonic, they're clearly putting some eggs in. Upcoming stuff, Quiet Place 2. That's going to be a hit. That's a guaranteed money for them. The Lovebirds, SpongeBob, Top Gun, something called Infinite. I don't know what that is, but it's a science fiction film directed by Anton Fuqua. And then a couple other random stuff. And then Snake Eyes, Clifford the Big Red Dog, and Coming to America. So, I mean, like,
fair.
They've got good stuff down the pipeline, but it's just like...
But then will those movies be good? Because if they're not good, no one's going to see them.
Or will they market them well? Because they don't know what they're doing.
That's true. Yeah. Other stuff they've got down the pipeline. Untitled Jackass film.
Ooh, that's going to be a big money maker.
Untitled 7th Paranormal Activity film.
Of course.
Paw Patrol, the movie.
Ooh.
Untitled My Little Pony sequel.
Interesting.
And then everything else is all... Oh, and then something... Micronauts. They're making a Micronauts movie to be part of that, like, Transformers.
You say that like I should know what that is.
It's going to be part of their new Transformers world baloney.
Are they making a Bumblebee sequel?
I believe so, but I don't see it on this list of now to 2021.
Bumblebee did well, right? I know it did well critically, but no, just...
I think, isn't it the lowest grossing Transformers movie to date?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but that's not surprising, because it wasn't like the Transformers like timeline.
I think it's set in the canon, but no one cares about the canon of the Transformers anymore after last night established that they were in World War II Nazi Germany, but like in the first Transformers that they were just getting to Earth.
Yeah, I don't know.
So Bumblebee 2 is in pre-production.
Ooh.
Is what I'm reading.
Is Travis Knight doing it?
Haley Steinfeld is a busy person, so...
Well, I don't know if she would necessarily be in it based off the ending.
I would assume that she would be, but I guess maybe not.
I'm double checking. I don't think Travis Knight is attached. Actually, so it looks like it's announced, but I don't see anything as far as production or anything. So no, never mind. Erase the last comment I made. So who knows? But anyway, let's move on to the next topic. This one is all about Maggie. Maggie, you're starring in a short film. That's playing before Onward. It's called Maggie. But actually it's not about Maggie Brzakala. It's about Maggie Simpson, because there's going to be a Simpson short film entitled Maggie playing before Onward. I have thoughts about this. So the world is no stranger to Simpson short films. In that, I think it was 2016, the last Ice Age movie, which was a Fox release, Simpsons also a Fox property that's now under the Disney umbrella. They had a short film called like Maggie's Daycare or something that played before Ice Age 5. So there's precedent before. I don't know if it's me being an old fart. I feel weird about The Simpsons playing before Onward. I don't know what it is. I like The Simpsons fine. I actually think The Simpsons movie is dope. I used to watch the show a lot. I haven't seen a new episode in years, but I used to like the show. I just don't know how I feel about a Simpsons short playing in front of Onward. I feel like it's probably going to be very family friendly and fine. I work in a movie theater. I can already hear the old ladies coming out and being like, "Hi, I'm with my grandchildren and we came to see the Onward movie, but The Simpsons is playing in there."
Why are you in New York now?
I don't know. We were just watching My Cousin Vinny, so maybe that's why. I don't know. It's weird. I think it's weird. It was weird when Toy Story 4 didn't have a short, and now we're not getting a Pixar short at all on this. We're getting the Simpsons thing. I don't know. Maggie, what do you think?
Yeah, okay. So nothing's gonna be worse than Olaf's Frozen Adventure playing in front of Coco. Like, let's be completely honest there.
True.
Like Onward isn't something that's based in a long heritage, and they just like fucking throw Frozen at it. Like, maybe they will, maybe they won't. Baby Yoda would win. But I don't know. I'm not mad about it. I think it's definitely very smart of them to use this new property that they have, and I'm sure that it's going to be cute and all the other stuff. And I mean, to the old ladies that are yelling at you, like, if you don't realize that there are shorts before Pixar movies, get your life together. I think it's going to be fine, and I'm not worried about it at all.
Koho, what about you?
I think I'm a pretentious piece of garbage when it comes to Pixar.
Why can't The Simpsons be good? Why do you have to be pretentious about it?
It's not about this. It's not about The Simpsons. It's that before Pixar and Disney stuff, there's always a short film made by someone who works in the company as an animator or as like a script writer for them that has always had a story they've wanted to tell, or like it gives Pixar shorts have always been the way to get people who end up making Pixar movies later their shot by giving them a short that people see. And the Pixar shorts are always something that are really fun and entertaining. So I love Day and Night, For the Birds. Like some of the best Pixar shorts of all time are put out there, and they're some of the best short films ever made. And like it's how Josh Cooley got his start. It's how Pete Docter kind of got the chance to direct Monsters Inc. Like there's a lot of like big time directors that we now talk about within the Pixar pantheon that got their start because they got to make a Pixar short. So giving it to the people who make The Simpsons feels like they're just trying to make sure people know, hey, Simpsons is Disney now, so you can get that on Disney Plus and watch that on Disney Plus. And there's no like real artistic vision to it.
Yeah, but you know what else you can watch on Disney Plus, Koho?
A
whole fuck ton of new Pixar shorts. They've given a new platform for all of those directors that you're talking about. And they probably have way more Pixar shorts now than they did before because they're trying to make it this whole Spark Shorts thing. So like, I think that, yes, I agree that it is partly a ploy to be like, remember that Simpsons is Disney now, but there's no reason to not, like, you bought this franchise for a reason. Like, they're going to use it.
Concurrently, I can also say you can watch all the Simpsons episodes on Disney Plus, and it balances out the argument.
Yeah, but this is a new story, but they're trying to make a new Disney Simpsons story, and I think that that's fine.
They have an entire season to do that on Disney Plus, whereas the shorts in theaters, the shorts in theaters is like tradition, and more people will see it when they go see Onward with their kids, which is why it's a bigger deal for like Josh Cooley Jr. to come in and make a short, and then people see it and love it. Like Bow, like no one, like the director of Bow, like they're gonna blow up and make a Pixar movie now because everyone freaking loved Bow because they saw it in a theater before a movie. No one's going to Disney Plus to watch those shorts. People will go to Disney Plus to watch The Simpsons.
You're right.
I went to Disney Plus to watch those shorts.
I actually do love the one where the mother imagines eating her son as a treat. It's really good. Nicholas is in the chat just lobbing everybody.
Was that before a Pixar movie?
That was before Inside Out.
Oh, Inside Out.
Oh,
Inside Out. Yeah, it was before
okay.
Inside Out.
Well, I mean, I went and Kickball still got nominated for an Oscar, and that was released on Disney Plus, and it wasn't before a movie. So I don't know. I'm not worried about it. I think that it's a good reason to flex their muscles, and it'll be fine.
I think it'll be fine too. I just think I'm with both of you. I think it's weird as far as tradition goes. Maggie's right though. I completely forgot about the 25-minute Olaf bonanza that was Coco.
That was terrible.
That was my first week working at a theater, and I had 4 or 5 people come out and go, "I came here for Coco. Why am I watching Frozen?"
Yeah, so many times. Let's move on to the next topic, which is going to be the final main topic of the day. Guys, hold on to your bladders because the new James Bond movie, No Time to Die, is 163 friggin' minutes, 2 hours and 43 minutes. No time to pee in No Time to Die.
I forgot to make the graphic for this one because I thought I already made it in my head, but the graphic was a picture of Bond in his car, and it said "Only Time to Die," and I really was proud of it. I forgot to upload it. Damn it!
It's all good, but anyway, this is whatever. It's the longest Bond film. It's 2 hours and 43 minutes. The way they've been advertising this thing as the final Craig movie, you're really wrapping up all the Craig stuff. You're just this is apparently going to be a giant conclusion, a huge movie. Make it 2 hours and 40 minutes. I don't really care if it's good. If the movie sucks, then I'm going to complain about the length. But if the movie's good, I don't give a shit how long it is. Make it 3 hours. If it's excellent, I don't care. Skyfall could have been 3 hours, and I would have been happy because that movie's fucking dope. So if this movie's dope, then I don't care how long it is. Maggie, you are notorious for not enjoying the Jimmy Bond films.
True.
But yet when I told you this news and I said the movie looks good, you went, I'm really excited. Please explain.
So I get attached to characters, even characters that I hate when I spend a lot of time with them. And I spent a lot of time with James Bond over winter break. So, and I really did watching all those old terrible Bond movies really brought a new appreciation for Skyfall, which we just rewatched. And that got me even more hyped for what's coming. And I do really, really hope it's good because you're totally right that if it's terrible or even if it's average, that length is going to be painful. It's going to be painful. But if it's at the level that Skyfall is or even Casino Royale, I think that it'll be fine. I just hope that they can deliver on that because they've been very on and off. Technically, this should be an on movie, but we never really know. And I just hope that they do it justice, specifically not to Daniel Craig's arc. Like we were talking about the difference between like Skyfall being like and Casino Royale being like we hate, like being Bond, but kind of also like spitting in the face of all the traditions of Bond, where like Spectre sort of fell back into that, and I would really like to see them continue to not just be a typical Bond movie. And I hope that they can do something new with the story and just not like all these rumors about him being Dr. No. Like part of me is like, okay, I guess, but at the same time it's like they already did that. Like let's just keep telling new stories because that's where I think Bond thrives in this day and age. So I just hope that it's good.
I agree with a lot of what you're saying. Malcolm is speaking truth. Koho has once again failed me and my show.
Wait, once again? What was the first time?
I don't know, when you didn't produce the first 20 episodes.
That's fair.
And Maggie's Jesus Christ. Oh boy. Anyway, Koho, your thoughts on Bond? You don't like Bond movies.
I'm not really a big James Bond fan. Anything pre-2006 Casino Royale is blah to me. Like it's,
Right.
but I dig Casino Royale. I don't like Quantum of Solace. I absolutely love Skyfall, and I thought Spectre was fine. So like it's a 50-50 hit rate for me with the new Bonds. But if this like is able to tie everything together, it really feels like they care. It feels like everyone cares about this Bond movie and making it a great last one for Daniel Craig, who I think everyone kind of agrees is a really great James Bond. And so like to try and put a bow on it and end it, if it needs that runtime, then absolutely take it. But yeah, if the story sucks and this is a 2 hour and 45 minute movie, it's gonna be a painful experience. I hope it's dope. I want this to be like a really good end to Daniel Craig's Bond and have him kind of send off in a big way, because Spectre tried to do it and it wasn't great.
Yeah.
So like if they can like really stick to landing with us, I'll be happy.
Right. If I can leave this movie being like, that James Bond, he's not a terrible guy, then they will have won.
All right. Fair enough. Well, even when we were watching Skyfall, a movie that Maggie has proclaimed to say is really friggin' good, within the first 10 minutes, she goes, "Oh, you fall off a bridge and now you're fucking some lady by the ocean."
That's true. Drinking a Heineken for no reason.
Product placement.
Yep.
She
That
got
was true.
so mad. She's like, you get shot off a frickin' train, but you drinking a Heineken and fucking some lady.
I'm
That
also super into the Billie Eilish song. I really dig it. So
I have not heard it. I will not hear it until I see the movie.
Don't listen to it until the movie then. But I like it.
Because I heard writings on the wall 80,000 times before I saw the movie. And...
yeah, I like that song, but it's definitely not the best Bond song at all.
All right. So we'll move on to the final little shindig here, which we talk about at the end of every show as the movie's coming out next weekend, or this upcoming weekend, I guess. The big one that we're all looking forward to, we talked about a little bit, is Onward. It's a new Pixar film. I'm friggin' pumped. I've loved these trailers ever since the first teaser before Toy Story 4. I've been really looking forward to this one. I don't have a brother. I have nothing. I don't have
a brother.
Robert, I guess he counts. I don't have a biological brother, which I hear is like a big attachment, to enjoying this movie. But I'm just looking forward to it. I think the trailers have been great. I'm really excited for it. I haven't been this pumped for a Pixar movie in a long time, because as much as I loved Toy Story 4, I was skeptical going into it. Whereas this one, I've been excited since day one, the first thing that I saw. So, Koho, what about you? Are you going to be checking out Onward this weekend?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of my most anticipated of the year. I think the story for Onward, like from the trailers, is really, really beautiful. And I'm really excited for it. I already know I'm going to cry in this movie. I won't get into it, but I really like the concept of the movie. And I know already just from the premise, I'm going to be a mess, but I'm excited for it. I'm here.
Jay, this is the one about the dad's legs.
Yeah.
You are correct. Maggie, what are your thoughts on Onward? Are you excited?
No, I'm super pumped. A little bit nervous that there will be a lot of crying. But that's okay. It'll be fine. I'm very excited.
Are you excited that I'm seeing it before you?
If you choose to do that, you will not be here for the show next week. So.
Because I'll be dead?
I don't know, Tim. What was I trying to say?
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next movie, which is
she just lawyered you, or she just didn't confirm or deny.
This is gonna be the next one. I'm gonna let Maggie lead. Maggie, tell us about Emma.
Yes, so I am super excited. I don't know if you can still hear me when those things are on. I'm sure you can.
Yeah, we can.
Right. I didn't know because it feels like I'm out of a studio. Anyway, so it's based on a Jane Austen novel. It's a great one. They remade it with Gwyneth Paltrow was the last one, which I really loved. It's a great story. If you've seen Clueless, it's that. That's what Clueless is based on.
Oh.
And yeah, there you go. So that's what Clueless is based on. And it's starring Anya Taylor-Joy, who has proved over and over and over again that she is just a great actress. Bill Nighy is also in it. I am just super pumped to see it. It really is. It seems based on the trailers that they're really going to embrace the comedy aspect over the romantic aspect, which I'm super excited to see that sort of take. But yeah, I'm super pumped. And I did look up the Rotten Tomatoes score, and it has an 85, which is the same as Onward for the record. But yeah, I think it's going to be great if you like that time period, I can't, Elizabethan, I don't remember what the name is of that time in England. It's going to be great. I'm super excited.
The 1800s.
Right. It's not medieval, but it's after that. I don't know what you call it, but yeah.
Renaissance?
Yep.
I have no idea.
No, it's not Renaissance.
I don't know my eras. I don't know them at all.
The cast is really good. I'm excited about it. I like Callum Turner, who's also going to be in it. He was in Fantastic Beasts, I believe, which was terrible, but he was also in The Only Living Boy in New York and Green Room, which I like both of those movies a lot. So I'm excited about this movie. I didn't know really anything about it other than the trailer, which I've enjoyed. Maggie's been very excited for it. So that's very infectious to me. Malcolm, I know, has seen it. He said in the chat that it's amazing. And I'm friends with him on Facebook, and he checked in to see it a couple weeks ago. And I went, that son of a bitch, out of the US, getting to see Emma early. God damn it. But anyway, Koho, do you care at all about Emma?
I mean, I didn't really know what it was. I saw that one trailer and it looked funny, and I was like, maybe I'll see it. But now that I know it's like the basis of what Clueless was an adaptation of, I think that's a little bit more enticing, because now I kind of have an idea of what to not to expect Clueless, but like now I kind of understand the tone of it. Like it's gonna be funnier and lighthearted, and it's not gonna be some sort of super Downton Abbey period drama that I'm just not really a fan of. So maybe I'll check it out. Yeah, cool.
Okay, the other new release this weekend is a movie I'm also very much looking forward to, and that is Koho seems to be. Koho, why don't you take this one then? Go ahead.
The Way Back looks sweet. Okay, I'm super I like sports movies every now and then, as long as they're like interesting sports movies, or there's like a lot more about the characters in it. Like Draft Day, I love it. Moneyball, I love it. So like, this looks like it's gonna be really cool. Ben Affleck, I've been wanting to see a great Ben Affleck performance for a while again, because like I know he has it in him. Ben Affleck can be a really good actor.
You mean Live by Night was not everything you were hoping for in a Ben Affleck performance?
I like that movie more than most, but no. But this looks really good. He like every trailer I see, I think Ben Affleck looks superb. Like, just I'm super excited. I'm ready. I haven't had a sports movie like this in my life for a minute, so like let's go. I'm hype.
The director, Gavin O'Connor, I really like. He did The Accountant. Granted, he did Jane Got a Gun, which wasn't good, but he did Warrior, Miracle. I think he's a good director. He obviously has worked with Ben before. So I'm excited about that. This is, you're right though about Ben Affleck, like wanting to see like a really good like Ben Affleck performance. Like I'm trying to think like back to like the really real, like I think Gone Girl might have been like the last like really good one where I was like, shit, man, I miss Ben Affleck. Like
maybe even before that with Argo, but like
I love Argo.
Gone Girl is definitely the last one, I would say.
Right.
I haven't seen his new Netflix movie, which I forget what The Last Thing He Wanted. Is that what it's called?
Last Frontier or 600 Grand?
So Triple Frontier, I have not seen, but then he was in a movie. It's another Netflix movie that just came out with Anne Hathaway. It like and Willem Dafoe. It like literally just came out like last week. I want to see it. Yeah, it's called The Last Thing He Wanted. And then before that, yeah, Justice League, Live by Night, The Accountant, which I liked, but I didn't.
The Accountant is good.
I like that movie, but like Ben Affleck isn't giving like a superb performance.
Yeah, I think Gone Girl was the last time. I think Gone Girl was the last one. So but he looks next level. I think he looks great in this movie. I'm really looking forward to it.
I just want him to win. That guy just, if you like read the news stories about him recently, I want that guy to win.
Yeah,
just have a good year. Yeah.
Maggie, you don't like the fact that he's no longer with Jennifer Gardner, but please, you still enjoy Ben though, right?
Correct. Yes, indeed.
Are you excited for this movie?
I am. Yes, The Accountant was really good. So I'm excited to see them get together again. And like we keep saying, we know he has it in him. So I hope that this is an example of that. So yeah.
The movie does not have a Rotten Tomatoes score yet. So hopefully it comes out this week and does well and is good. I hope. I'm really looking forward to it. But guys, hey, that's the show. We did it. And we were only 3 people today, but we talked for a long time about Paramount, so that's okay. We made it through. We did it nonetheless, and we're here. But thanks so much for watching, guys. Let's go around and plug things. Maggie, where can the people find you on the internet?
They can find me on Twitter, and they can find me on Letterboxd. I don't know what my names are. May 24 in that sort of May 24 is definitely Letterboxd. May 24 Maggie is definitely Twitter. Just
You
search.
do this every week.
I know. Search my last name. It's weird. Or the macaw. So you'll find me either way. So yeah, I'm there.
Got it. Koho, what's happening in fandom this week?
In the world of fandom fights, Knights of Ren, which is Mr. Brzakala and Mr. Tuig, make their debut as a team. They're playing Malcolm Lay and Andrea Malabog, which is Chaotic Angels. And the other match going up is Lucas Schildbach versus Nico Suave Rigoli to try and obtain a place in the Summer Series tournament coming up. So we'll see how that goes for them. Basically, who wants to be 500? That's what that match is. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. That's our main event, and then Knights running Chaotic Angels is our debut for the week. So check those out. Those are both really good matches. So,
I know nothing about either of those matches. I did not host. Actually, no, I didn't host either of them because I was in one, and you guys, I think, hosted Lucas versus Nico. I was not.
Yeah, we did.
That's
I'll
right.
be there.
That's true.
Yeah, because I edited it, and in the middle of it, Maggie goes, Koho, are you excited for the Oscars next week? And I was like,
Might be.
this has aged the video.
Well, I mean, every video that comes out until like April is going to be aged because I won't have blue hair.
That's true.
That's also very accurate, something I did not think about. But guys, actually, Koho, what else is happening? What's happening on Your List Sucks tomorrow?
Your List Sucks tomorrow is Rock Anthems. Brooklyn Vail is in the hosting chair. It is me, Jim Green. I believe Andrew James Barr is on as well. I'll have to double check. It's a full 4-person panel. We are doing a music-related topic, so you know we're going to tell Brooklyn to shut up and take over the show from him. But it's about rock anthems, so songs that defined a generation that fall sort of within the rock genre. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. And then otherwise, guys, around Multiplex, new TV match dropped today. More Warzone matches dropping over the weekend, as well as Fandom. Nerdgasm had an episode drop this last weekend. If you haven't seen it, that was Kirk Kowalkowski against Joe Harrison. Very good match there, so be sure to check that out. And then in a couple weeks, we'll have Kaleb Boatman taking on Dave
Goodger.
I don't know. Goodger. There you go. Thank you. Couldn't think of Dave's last name for a second. So that's going to be in a couple weeks. So lots of good stuff. And I believe a new jam session went up on the podcast network.
It did. Andrew James Barr.
Yesterday. Check that out. Another one of those in 2 weeks. Lots of fun stuff going on at Multiplex Entertainment. So be on the lookout for everything that we're doing. So subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you guys, because we all know there are so many people that like to hit the dislike button. But as Kane McMillan says, fuck the haters. Am I right? Guys, thank you so much for watching Multiplex Loves Movies. We'll be back next week, Tuesday, with episode number 31. Until then, have a good one. Kaleb, take us out.
Not quite my tempo.
I'm gonna make him an offer, Captain.